Hello everyone, this is Hunter Derrick with UAT and my class is GPE340, and this week working on some user interface materials. We have part of the requirements is include a health bar, weapon display for the player, must also include health bars for the enemies, create a main menu for the game. You should also be able to start and quit from this menu. You must also be able to pause the game where you can resume or quit to the main menu. Um, this week's extra mechanic should be a win condition for your game. Determine how the player can win your game and implement it. You must also provide a win screen. So we have those. Um, Now, the only thing as of right now, I'm still working on some of the enemy mechanics as far as enemy health and life and all that stuff from the prior assignment. But as far as the user interface goes, we have most of that under control. And so I'll kind of get into show you what it looks like, and then we'll go from there. So the main menu, I realize isn't optimized per se for full screen, but we'll just go through and show you what it looks like. So we have play, our main menu. You can quit. You can see it throws a console quitting game. It won't actually quit the application until it's fully put into a build, but the application .quit is what's processing this and making it happen. Options. Right now you can do volume. I don't have any audio in the game itself, but you have the volume control. You have the actual controls. Move, jump, select from inventory, interact, tab to open inventory, return back to main menu. You hit play. Load you into the game here. We can move. As you can see, we have a player store limit up top. Player health. This is stamina and mana. We have an action bar down here at the bottom. As of right now, he only has one ability, which is slash. Tab to open up the inventory. Here's the inventory menu that we have here. You can hold a total of 20 items. There's 2 items to choose from here. We have the katana, and there we go, katana, and then the rapier right here. And so opens it up. This is the katana. This is the rapier icon. You can click the red X and it deletes the item from the inventory, or you can click on the item, and as you can see, it equips. And I'm watching around with the player transform. Here's a potion. It increases the player health. Now again, the enemies have health bars, but the health is still something that I'm working on, but they can still die, and as you can see, the player store increases, and the win condition is just kill all of the enemies, and then step on the platform to complete the level. Why won't this one die? There we go. Step on the platform to complete level. Level complete, and as of right now, it takes you back to the main menu. Again, options, play. So pause menu. Here's the in-game pause menu. I chose to do it similar to like Dark Souls type pause menu, where you can still move around and play the game with the menu open. But you can go to options. It'll do some options there. Go previous character, show some of the equipment that the character can have equipped. It doesn't update in real time yet, but those are just showing that it'll update those eventually. If you hit quit, it says quitting game here in the debug, and then resume. You can go back to the game. Even from here, you can hit resume back, and from the options, if you hit resume, it takes you back to the actual game itself. And the the pause menu is bound to escape, and inventory is tab. So we have those, and then we can kind of get into some of the UI related menus, which is all relatively simple, except for the inventory. But here's the main menu. Basically, you have 2 functions. You have play game and quit game. And bear with me, it takes a minute to load because I have um, JetBrains as an extension here, and so it takes a minute. If I say you have quit game, play game, it just takes the current scene that you're on and build index +1 and moves you to the next scene. Um, Next level, this is at the end of the game, or when you kill all the enemies and step on the platform. As of right now, it's taking you a -1 build index, which is going back to the main menu. End level, this is just a on trigger event where if the player enters that trigger, it plays this function from the game manager, which is called from right here, which is level complete UI. It's basically setting that UI to true when it shows level complete. Here's the score counter where it's displaying the player's score at the very top of the screen. And then inventory, I know I went through some of these last video, but here's the inventory UI, basically kind of how it all works. Hit the inventory button, which is bound to I and B, B for bag. And basically it cycles through this for loop, checking the slots and seeing what items are there, whereas you could see it, it updated 2 items, and those are done through scriptable objects. Here's how the inventory slot updates. It takes in an image, a item, which is a scriptable object that has all the information on it. And then it has that little red X for the remove button. Essentially, once you pick an item up, it adds the item, which enables all of those. Then if you hit the red X, it clears that slot. And here's the function for removing that item from the inventory. And the inventory script right here, we can set the amount of space in the inventory. We set up a singleton right here to make sure that there's only one instance of the inventory per playthrough. This is basically a boolean if we're adding an item in the inventory and removing an item, which these are called through some of the other pieces of the inventory. And one of the other things that we did with the inventory is it shows us here through, as you can see as of right now, items, there's 0. Then when you pick one up, it adds 1 item, 2 items, and it shows what items are there, and they're labeled as equipment. Then you hit tab, you X out of 1, and it updates in real time there, showing in the inspector what's happening. And I forgot one other thing to show. For the menus in the UI, I know there's not a ton of coding involved with it, but it's relatively simple, and I'll show kind of what we did. So we have the player UI, which it has the health bars, the action panel here, and then the inventory panel, which is right here. But essentially for all the menus, right? So here's the pause menu, and the buttons are bound to actions. And so it's basically just setting game objects active or inactive as you're navigating through the menu options. So if you hit character, it sets the pause menu to inactive and the character menu to active. And every other button, it works essentially the same way as you're trying to navigate through the menu. So there's not a lot of coding involved. It's just setting objects to active and inactive. And all of that includes everything for week 4's assignment. Have a good rest of your day.